Lower interest rates and house prices are contributing to the best home loan affordability in 7 years. As financial commentator Bernard Hickey told me earlier this morning on First Line, that's good news for most home buyers unless they live in a main centre like Auckland.
Central Auckland is seeing house prices in a separate trend from the rest of the country. There is demand from migrants and a lack of supply because of leaky buildings. That means that house prices are quite buoyant in some parts of Auckland, particularly those for people who maybe got some more money from their tax cuts at the end of last year. And also there is some demand from people from Christchurch who are relocating, either permanently or part-time. And that is a factor driving up house prices in Auckland and in some of the central parts of Wellington. But outside of the central parts, in the outer suburbs, West Auckland, South Auckland, and also in parts of the very North Shore, things are not quite so hot and prices are below where they were at the peak in 2007. Out in the suburbs, or out in the provinces, things are pretty quiet, and in some areas prices are significantly below where they were at the peak in 2007.
And some areas are more affordable than others. I understand Whanganui is the best value for money at the moment.
That's right, Whanganui is the cheapest place in the country, just ahead of Invercargill. You've also got the likes of New Plymouth and Oamaru, Timaru. These are places where if you're a young family with an income, you can afford a reasonable house. Not so easy, of course, in central Auckland or Wellington.
OK, what's the situation now in Christchurch in terms of getting home loans and mortgages and things? I've been sort of told that some banks have sort of got a blanket ban on the region for the moment. What's your understanding of the situation there?
Obviously, it's very difficult. A lot of deals that had been done before the earthquake are on hold, in part because insurance is very difficult to get, and a lot of banks are reluctant to lend unless they're sure there is insurance underneath that house. And so that's causing many of the deals that were in train to be stopped. And of course, right now, the last thing people are thinking about is buying and selling houses when, they've got to make sure the house is still safe and their family is safe. So right now, the Christchurch market obviously is just not operating as you'd expect. And when no one's really sure what's happened to values in that area, the shock has been so great.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, so around the country, though, good time to buy if you're a first-time buyer. What would be your advice? Shop around, use a broker?
Well, the power is in the hands of the first-home buyers at the moment. Remember, we've had a housing boom. It peaked in 2007. Prices are still around about 5 to 6% below where they were then. And have a good look at your finances. If you think with a couple of incomes you're pretty sure about your outgoings for the next few years, you're not going to suffer any accidental pregnancies or illness or loss of job, then you're in a pretty strong position to negotiate hard, not just with your potential seller of a house, but also the bank. Their banks are being pretty competitive at the moment, and a broker can help you to get the best deal you can.
Just how open are banks at the moment to, less of a deposit, say, than the standard 20% that they were?
Well, actually, they're being a lot more aggressive in the last couple of months. We're hearing about a few of the banks through brokers offering 95% home loans and also offering 30-year loans rather than 20 years, so you've got more time to spread it out. Now, there's a debate about whether that's good in the long run, but it certainly means that home buyers, and particularly first home buyers, have a lot more power than they had a few years ago.
Bernard Hickey talking there.